places just so Hitler could come and look, and his generals, make sure everything was going on well. So there was a small plane out there with extra tanks, and that family was put on that plane, and it flew off to America. Now that's what I saw. I don't know if they made it. I don't know what happened, because it was a German plane flying into American airspace. I don't know what happened from there. But from that day on, I was haunted. From that day on, I knew I was a horrendous creature and I deserved to die. And I never went back from the airstrip. I wandered around Germany, found a boat going somewhere. It landed on this coast, and I stumbled into these woods, and I found this little hovel, and I've been here ever since. There's my shredded uniform. I shredded it. That's proof of where I was. There's the symbol of the elite guard. There's the symbol of Hitler's Corps. My mind's a little addled, but on that story it's not. I may use the incorrect terms. I've been around these people so long. Sneaking in and out, getting food when I can, talking with them very little. But I'm done. And it's over. I don't know what was there. I still to this day don't know what was there, but it left me in a place where I knew I had done great wrong. And I put myself into self-exile. This is my place. I looked at this man and I said, I have a message from God for you. And he looked at me and he goes, from God? God wouldn't talk to me. He knows what I've done. And I said, oh yeah, he would. And the message was very simple. It was simply, you are forgiven. And his whole countenance changed. Because God was in the room again. He felt that same presence. That's what he told me. He felt led to turn himself in to the authorities, and he went through the process. And I had told him one thing, to take some pictures of where he had been living all of that time, and how he had been living, to write a story. He did those two things. When he stood before the tribunal, they agreed that he was a minor player and that he had only been following orders and that his whole life had been changed by that moment. He told them the story. I don't know if they believed it. I did. He was given asylum by the country that he was in. And that, I believe, was God's miracle. For him putting that family on that plane and then never going back. His heart had changed. He just didn't realize it. That's why he suffered so. Now, that story has an addendum, something that proves it's true to me. Many years later, I don't know how many, was traveling in America, and at that time I was preaching in churches. What they call itinerant preaching, because I didn't have the degree. I had the fire, but didn't have the degree. And in one of those churches I met an elderly lady. She wasn't that elderly, but she was definitely in her late 50s, maybe 40s. Not quite sure, don't ask ladies that question. And I had been talking about faith, courage, and hope. And as in my course, I use stories, and I used that story, and she came up and talked to me afterwards, and she said, I won't sign a paper to it. I won't say it happened, but it did. And then she told me the other part of the story. She told me about the plane flying into American airspace, being queried by the ground, what it was doing there, and that the pilot was delivering a Jewish family to America. Somehow, some way, they were told to follow a very strict flight plan, and they landed. And they eventually became citizens of America, lived a very decent life, and she said became very prominent members inside the American structure. And she said there's one more thing. She said, and I never gave up on my faith. She said I always had faith in God. She said, God delivered me from the flames. And I've served him, and I will continue to serve him. But that was it. She was gone. She just turned around and walked away. I had some questions she wasn't going to answer. Why was she in a church instead of a synagogue? I did not know. I have some imaginings, but I'll leave them at that. This is my story of faith, hope, and courage of a little girl. You've got to remember this. That it doesn't matter how big the monster is, because God is always bigger. And you have to understand that what God says will happen. The moment, the timing, is His. May this story encourage your faith. Well, many blessings from the bard and the monk. Amazing day to you.